How you guys feel about Binding of Isaac?
I bought Binding of Isaac, and then I plugged in my 360 controller because I know for a damn fact that Team Meat knows how to make games that work with a 360 controller. And then I went to the options screen to turn it on, and it said, "Hey, use Joy-to key," and then I turned the game off.
You should also like it works really well with the keyboard. For real.
But my
it looks like it'd work well with the keyboard.
I mean, I'm sure it does.
The new version that they're working on is going to have controller support.
Okay.
That's good.
But you're going to have to buy it. You're going to have to buy it.
Right. I mean, I get butthurt about really dumb things with video games.
Yeah, tell me about it. I've read some of your reviews, man.
Oh man.
I think we're like the opposite person. Because I like overlook like everything in video. At least people tell me I overlook too many things.
You're also super grumpy.
Dylan, so like I guess like the problem is that the game apparently they had trouble like getting keyboard support in because the game was made in Flash originally. Or sorry, yeah, gamepad support. Because the game was made in Flash originally. I don't really understand what the deal is, but yeah, so that apparently like you can make gamepad work, but you have to download this third-party program.
Yeah, I have Joy-to-key.
Yeah, you've probably used it for like MMOs and shit, right?
I use it for MMOs. I use it for a couple fighting games as well.
Okay.
Oh man, the idea of using an Xbox One for fighting games. Oof. Yeah, that alone makes sure I'm never gonna buy one.
Well, it's just like, I mean, like I play all my fighting games on the Xbox, but like I've made the investment over the last 4 years to have spent money on good arcade sticks, and I don't want to have to do that again because it's going to be like $300.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what I did is I just made my own.
Right.
And then
that's,
you can buy a PS.
PCBs. Right.
Yeah, but you buy. I mean, PS360. You just plug it in via USB and it updates firmware. I don't see a reason why they couldn't add, whatever.
Yeah.
Support. But I mean, my idea, because I mean, I run a couple of tournaments here and there for fighting game stuff, and the idea of like having to like get Xboxes with Kinects plugged in to even turn on.
That's going to be a huge pain in the ass. It's not going to be worth it.
I mean, and then you have to make sure like the right game is paired up with the right system.
Yeah.
And then
you're right. That's
to
crazy.
be fair. I mean, what stops you from just going Xbox Go Home? Like near one.
I'm sure that shit can be turned off, right? Like,
can it? You don't know.
It has to be.
Can you turn off for Connect? Connect Uno? Connect One?
Yeah.
I mean, you can
absolutely,
unplug Connect One in your Xbox.
There's no
if you have
to turn
Connect
it
One
off?
plugged in, can you turn? I guess they were.
No, I don't think you can.
Really? That's super dumb.
I know you.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Mute the microphone for chat, but I don't know if you can mute it for like voice commands.
Oh man, that would be bad.
What stops you from like being in your house, being like, oh yeah, it's pretty easy. On and just like
Thomas in the chat says you cannot shut it off without unplugging it.
Better.
So what happens if like me and my roommates are in the living room and like my roommate is at like the end of BioShock 1, which will be the launch title for Xbox or Xbox One. What if he's almost at the end of the game and I say, hey, after this, do you guys want to watch TV? And the Xbox hears watch TV. And
you'd have to say, after this, do you want to Xbox watch TV?
No,
that would be a good way to troll.
They didn't say Xbox during any of the shit today. They just said watch TV, and it just would do it.
But that shit was all. Are we gonna like pretend that was real time?
I mean, obviously it wasn't. But let's assume that they get their thing working.
And if their instant switching supposedly works, I guess that actually wouldn't be a big deal.
It probably would like pause the game or like put it to sleep or whatever.
I hope so.
Because then you could just instant switch Xbox, play games or whatever.
Right.
It's on football or whatever.
Yeah, but no, Dylan, you're
I just don't see it working for tournaments, which is already means I'm.
Well, tournaments are already a huge pain in the ass to organize to begin with, especially if you're playing games especially if you don't have a console or a well-stocked arcade locally, or you're like setting up something with consoles. It's already a big pain in the ass, and like it's nearly impossible to get anything related to fighting games running on time to begin with. And
just the idea of having to have like. Just the idea of having to have Kinects up and scanning and like listening to voices and God knows what else that the thing is doing.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with like taking it to a friend's house. Like if I want to like go over to somebody's house with my new Xbox One, I don't want to have to pack up the Kinect too. Like ideally, it would be cool if I could just
see the power brick. That thing still has a power brick the size of the Xbox 360 one. it's already a massive console. It's got a giant power brick. It's got
Weren't they talking about how the power drain on this new one is a lot lower than it on the 360?
Yeah, they said it. Well, I think that the FAQ just says it isn't higher. So they've gotten more efficient with.
And I mean, it's probably. I mean,
so it has to be if they're positioning as this device that is like if they want you to run your cable TV in through it, like it's basically under the assumption that you're going to leave your Xbox One on all the time.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they've said like it like it auto it just sleeps and you're able to just start it up from sleep.
I mean, it has 3 OSs, so if one of those OSs is Windows 8,
no, but those are redundancy operating systems. So if Windows 8 goes down, then Linux is there to take over, and if Linux stops working,
what are
then
the 3 OSs?
I have no idea. Like that was the buzzwordiest part of that whole presentation.
I didn't quite what's going on with that?
Well, one is Xbox, one is Windows 8, and one is Synergy.
Maybe one is like, who was it? Someone was in the chat yesterday on Raising Van Dale. They were talking about.
Well, now I know you're lying because I know that there aren't people in the chat.
I think it was John actually was in there.
Oh, John, I'm really sorry.
Talking about playing phone apps like Windows 8 phone type of stuff because you can. I mean, a lot of those are available on Windows Store. And you get achievements for them. Why wouldn't they just be on Xbox?
Oh man, if I can get some sweet Chivos, then I may as well.
I think I just got the achievement for like not taking damage in the basement.
Yeah, you didn't take any damage.
That's kind of fucking cool. I'm happy with that.
Job.
I really like the weapon setup I have going on here.
Yeah, it's really good.
Quad shot and homing. It's pretty awesome. Okay, sorry.
But
I don't mean to distract you guys with talking about this game.
I'm just if their hibernate system works like it does on Windows 8, like I can basically how Windows 8 works is instead of shutting down your computer, it just always goes into the hibernate state where it just saves everything RAM, and the thing pops open quick.
Right.
So I mean, I could see something like that being in, it'll sleep itself when you want to watch TV, Xbox on, watch TV, and it just works. That definitely I could see working. So you don't have to leave it on all the time, but I don't know. It's the fact you're gonna have to like plug your cable box into it, so you're gonna have your cable box on all the time and your Xbox on all the time.
I mean, your cable boxes. Most people I know keep the cable box on all the time anyway.
Yeah, I don't think my parents would know how to turn off their cable box if they wanted
I mean, to me, like I'm viewing it like I think, and the way that they're trying to position it, it's going to be the same as like the same way that I treat, for example, my PC, or the same way that a lot of people treat their laptop or like an iPad, where it's just when you're done with it, you press the button that puts it to sleep. When you want to use it again, you just press the button
and the screen turns off, so you don't really care what happens to it.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe I could see that. I just don't see the point of all this TV stuff when it doesn't have a cable box in it. Like, I don't know.
Well, they couldn't put out their own cable box because one, that would be a whole different mess of FCC regulations that they would have to get into, and two, Comcast would burn them to the ground.
Yeah, and I guess cable card is dead, so
yeah, super dead. Which is sad because the dream of cable card was really beautiful.
I had cable card. I had cable card in a TiVo. That thing was great, man.
Yeah.
I paid my $15 every month and I paid like $8 for a cable card. It was great.
Man, living the dream.
Let me tell you, back in those days, all those TiVo noises. I just need to add those to Xbox One, and I'm sold. I'll buy one.
Dylan, did you hear that that Skullgirls is getting an arcade release in Japan?
Yeah, I did hear that.
I want the best thing.
Man,
it'd be so great, and it's so weird because
the patch finally came out for Xbox as well.
Yeah, I want to get back into it.
Half the size of the PlayStation one, which is really weird.
Well, it's because that's why it was so late. Is because they had
man, I couldn't even imagine like programming that to just like here, let's cut the size of everything you did in half. Like as someone who programs, that's like the most frightening thing ever to hear.
Phil, I really liked how apprehensively you approached that chest.
Yeah, I had to think about it.
What's up with this real sad guy in this room? He's bumming me out.
He's forever.
He's here to guard the secret rooms, and nobody ever finds them, and it makes him sad.
He's like that knight from Last Crusade.
This whole game is kind of a downer.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the judgment card does.
Let's find out.
Oh, great. Even though I spent most of my money already.
Weed Eater from the chat is talking about he's worried as a Canadian about having only a single choice for TV provider if he gets the Xbox One.
You don't have a choice at all outside of the US.
I wonder how well that stuff is gonna will that work internationally or
they
what?
They said it's US only for TV stuff.
Well, really? for the at launch, and then it's going to roll out globally.
I mean, I don't have cable anyway, so it doesn't really bother me right away. But it would be cool to tinker with that stuff.
I mean, they don't have cable in other nations, is my understanding.
Well, don't you have like Rogers or something horrendous like that?
We have socialism is what we have. I'm pretty sure. So
that's my understanding.
It's lots of tiers.
Don't you guys have 3-year cell phone contracts too?
I don't have one at all, which is super nice. I actually just switched back to an iPhone 4, which
I thought that was a thing. There was like extra. I don't know, maybe not.
Maybe, but I was able to. I don't know.
No, you're thinking of bags of milk. They have bags of milk.
Bags of milk. That's they're super.
I've also heard that's only a one province thing.
So Bleeding Heart is from Canada, and she's a friend of mine. And when I moved here, she was like, "Austin, you have to go to the store right now and touch a bag of milk." And let me tell you guys, don't do that.
Was that like an erotic experience or what?
It was. Do you know that space
stores, right?
between eroticism and absolute terror?
That's where I spend most of my time, yeah.
I was going to say, this sounds familiar.
I now call that the milk bag space. That's,
wow.
Oh my.
Yeah, I know.
Thomas wants more stories about Bleeding Heart's dad?
Oh, God. I haven't seen him since then, so I don't have any new stories about Bleeding Heart's dad.
What does he think about the Xbox One?
I bet he's against it.
Maybe we should get Janine on the call to tell us about her dad's thoughts on the Xbox One.
Oh, God.
I invited Janine on the call, but she said that she's not interested because she's a part of the PC Master Race.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So am I, but I mean, I still have clear consoles.
She only owns Apple computers, so...
no one's fooled then, I guess.
So she's not really a part of anything.
When Janine says PC, she's talking about like obscure Japanese PCs from the 90s that had Sailor Moon games on them.
Right, that's
okay,
true.
Yeah.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
The PC Engine, actually.
I'm tripping out looking at this article that Weed Eater linked showing off milk bags.
Dude, they're super weird.
This is so weird.
They're super weird.
Do you slap the bag like with bagged wine when you're just trying to chug some milk?
No.
Milk drunk?
So
bagged wine? Is this like a whole other thing I don't know about?
Well, boxed wine, like the...
It's not right.
I work with college kids, so that's how I hear about this stuff. But if you take if you open a box wine, like it comes in a bag, and apparently the new way to drink that, because drinking wine normally just wasn't fast enough. Mm-hmm. If you slap the bag, it'll shoot a lot of wine. So basically, people are chugging boxed wine.
Back when I worked at retail, I worked at Quicksilver for a while, and DC Shoes was like our sister store. And the manager of the DC Shoes would show up to the Quicksilver house parties that we would throw, and he would bring a box of wine for himself, and just take the bag out and sling it over his shoulder, and just work on that all night.
Go to work.
Yeah. I did my MA at the California Institute of the Arts, and let me tell you, a lot of folks carried around ridiculous bags of wine around that campus. Also, it was a cleaning optional campus, so school is flexible. All right, guys.
Yeah.
You're to be artists, not to.
I missed out by going to an engineering college, I think.
Clearly.
Bill, where'd you go to school?
I don't believe in schooling.
Cool.
I respect that. I would definitely respect that.
Bill and I went to the same school. He's lying.
Yeah, Andrew and I went to the University of Minnesota Morris.
Oh, word.
It's not. I don't know. It was a great college. There's not really anything interesting to say about it, though.
You didn't have wine guys.
We didn't. Nobody. I don't think anybody at that school drank or did anything like. There are no drugs or anything like that.
Not at all.
Everybody was just, they doing their studies,
Yep.
Right.
Seems legitimate. Yeah.
Yep.
I believe it. So the Xbox controller. Are we excited about Rumble on the triggers, guys? Actually, I want to bring that up.
Yeah. Is that what that is? Is it Rumble in the trigger?
It's got Rumble in the controller and Rumble under each trigger.
That seems unnecessary.
It seems pretty awesome to me. I don't know. I think it could have some cool uses, I guess. If used subtly, which is never how Rumble is used, it could be awesome.
And I still don't fully understand the like integrated battery compartment that they were.
It just means
touting this time.
You know how there's like that clip on the back that kind of like you can feel with your finger. It's just like a little slide off thing now.
Okay.
It just doesn't have the little clip
not
part.
Anywhere near as big of a deal as they made it out to be. Why is it still not a rechargeable battery?
Batteries, right?
It's still AA's, yeah. No, they made a big deal about it because supposedly people like complained about feeling the like space on it.
That doesn't seem like the controller complaint that they should have brought attention to, because like they made a big deal of saying like, hey, we changed the D-pad, it's super different now, y'all.
It looks a lot different.
You know, and like
looks good.
It does look good. Like I'm hoping that it'll be better because
it's bad.
Yeah, it is bad.
I mean, I will say. Oh, what? Is she?
Yeah, he just added me and was like, "Okay, you should call in, deal with it." And I was like, "What?"
Oh God.
Now we're not talking about milk anymore.
Hi, Janine.
Yeah, we're done with milk. We're done milk talks. So I tried to add you then, and you were like, "I don't want to join and talk about milk because
it felt awkward.
I'm afraid you guys would judge our national pastime, which is slapping milk bags."
We don't want to talk about milk. We want to talk about how your dad feels about the Xbox One.
Also about bagged milk.
The new Xbox One, not the Xbox One from like.
He would never buy an Xbox. He just wouldn't. It doesn't matter.
He's a PS4 fan.
I mean, we had.
I think he would buy an Apple console and a Dreamcast 2.
He was only okay with PlayStation after Sega stopped making consoles, because Sega was like the Apple of consoles for him.
That's like, wow, that's deep right now. I kind of feel that.
So
I respect that.
And I think Nintendo's okay now too.
Oh.
But
good.
when I was little, it was only Sega. Yeah.
Sega does what Nintendo don't, so it makes sense.
Anyway, he would not be interested at all. Zero interest. Controller doesn't matter. TV, fuck TV, doesn't matter.
I can respect.
Watches TV on the computer. Who cares?
That's true. Bro, like again, like I don't think your dad is the target demographic for that. Janine, I don't want to break your heart, but I don't think your dad was the target demographic for today's Microsoft announcement event.
Austin, you're being super racist again.
Dogs. I don't
like I'm sorry.
Brand of dogs, but he's okay with dogs. I think he'd be into that part.
Guys, I want there to be more dogs.
Well, luckily, Call of Duty is multi-platform.
That mocap soup dog was so great.
Are we sure that it's multi-platform?
You guys, I just.
Are we sure the dogs are multi-platform? What if the dog is only on Xbox?
You guys, as Thomas in the chat room points out, I literally just fought a milk bag as a boss.
Oh Jesus! Really?
You kind of did. And also, as Kavanaugh points out, now Sega does what Nintendo does, which is pretty true.
BTalk92 says Nintendo is what Sega Genesis isn't.
That's pretty good.
I like that.
I mean, it's not true.
That's like an A for effort.
It's clever.
That's an A for effort.
NeoGaf mid-90s would like that one. So.
NeoGaf mid-90s is a Twitter account that needs to happen. Like, for real.
I think I'm gonna work on that.
Keyword NeoGaf, I think is AOL keyword NeoGaf.
AOL keyword NeoGaf.
That's a really good idea.
I know.
Man, I was so like bummed out that we had dial-up as a kid because there was no Nickelodeon website, but AOL had an AOL keyword Nick, and it just like the pictures that I saw on TV looked so great.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't actually great.
In retrospect, I figure. You know, the original Space Jam website is still on the internet, and it's never been changed.
It's beautiful.
It's just like frames and.
I think whoever realized that was still up, that's like our generation's equivalent of
Magellan.
Like Tutankhamun's tomb being discovered with all that gold and
I'll say Magellan.
This belongs in a museum.
I don't know if you want to call that person Magellan, Phil, because things didn't end well for Magellan.
Yeah, didn't he get like disemboweled by his crew or something?
Yeah,
That's fine.
Well, they were haters. So
I just made a new Twitter account that might be called Mid-90s NeoGaf, and something really creepy happened. As I was signing up for the account, it gave me the option to automatically tailor Twitter based on my recent website visits.
Oh, man.
Yeah, isn't that fun?
Wow, that was creepy.
Guy, that would only be better if it also took into account your Connect data.
And
So,
monitored your heartbeat to tell how excited you were when you were making your account.
Well, good. It's giving me the option to add some new Twitter, to follow some people on Twitter. Mark
Space
Wahlberg.
Jam? Oh.
Makes sense.
you should follow everybody on this account. You should follow everybody that it suggests you follow.
It suggested I follow Windows 6 times already. Like, it just spaces them out. It's like Windows, Diddy, Tyra Banks, Taylor Swift, Windows, Mark Wahlberg, Mariah Carey, Carrie Underwood, Windows.
I think that's a sign.
I like Carrie Underwood.
What?
Let's see. All right. Well, I'm going to follow Justin Bieber.
Sounds good.
Okay. Yeah.
What were you browsing that it pointed you towards Justin Bieber? Out of
Keith
curiosity. Okay.
NeoGaf.
It's looking into his Spotify account.
So yeah, so Justin Bieber, Keith Urban, and I'm going to pick one more Call of Duty. All right, there we go. This is perfect.
Bieber is a avid NeoGaf user, so he'll get a big kick out of it.
So yeah.
I like to think that
Actually, he's still waiting to get added. He's still waiting for his registration to go through.
Yeah.
I like to think that if NeoGaf was around in the 90s, they would have been believers.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That whole thing was so rough.
Yeah.
But like, what is your life like? The nicest thing you can think to say about a person is, I like to think that they would have liked me.
I think it's
That
something
is the highest compliment that you can give.
It's something I'll think about, really. Right? I wonder if, if
I think
Anne
there's
Frank, me. I hope so.
I hope. Yeah, I think I'm pretty likable.
Yeah.
The thing is, I do. There is this someone in my fucking program probably is going to write a paper about that line and the relation to the fact that one of the things that Anne Frank did to survive mentally and emotionally was to obsess about Hollywood actors and actresses, right? The entertainment industry was absolutely a thing she cared about. So maybe she would have been a believer, which I don't think he gave that anywhere near the amount of thought that I just gave it.
Nope.
No.
I don't know. I'm in Canada now, and I'm pretty sure it's a law that I have to defend Bieber whenever that comes up.
Okay, guys, so it just suggested I follow Infinity Ward.
Wow.
Yep.
And so I did.
Naturally.
And the latest tweet from Infinity Ward is the word dog and then a check mark.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
That's pretty good.
I was pretty happy with that. I had to double check. I'm like, is this the real Infinity Ward account? It is. That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
These little flies are really cute.
Yeah, they're just buzzing around. They're not, they're not trying to hurt anyone.
Why are you murdering them?
Yeah. No kidding.
Why are you a murderer, Phil?
I don't know. I'm bored.
Janine, what's the status on your Sailor Moon research?
Good question.
Yeah, I've been waiting to hear more about this.
When's this starting?
I keep meaning to start it. I'm like, I'll start at the end of start it this weekend, or I'll start it next week, and there's just a million little things keep coming up. The current one is that I was originally going to play these on the Mac side of my computer. These meaning Sailor Moon games, for anyone not in the know. And then I was like, well, that's stupid. I want to do a cool background and stuff, so it'd be better if I was doing it in Open Broadcast in OBS. So I should go in Windows, and so then I tried to access this big, huge folder of games that I have with the information, and everything's all sorted by release date and consoles and whatever. And for some reason, that's the only folder that the Windows partition of my computer cannot see.
Cool.
So I have to either re-download and resort all of those, or I don't know,
Can't you just throw them all onto a thumb drive?
stick?
Yeah.
I have to find a thumb drive first. I don't have one handy. I haven't used one since I was in school, honestly.
Those are available all over. You can buy them at stores.
No, I know. I mean, I have 3 of them, but I just don't know where they are. I'm not gonna buy one just for this.
You're making excuses. This is a safe
You can go to a store and you can buy those.
I'm telling you guys, she's afraid of committing to Sailor Moon.
I'm gonna have to burn them on a CD or something. Which is
he doesn't want them to be
What if
any
you
more
put them in
permanent.
Dropbox or
Okay,
something?
I actually like the idea of you burning them on a CD with like Sailor Moon games written in like marker on it.
in pink Sharpie.
Yeah.
That seems actually really appropriate considering what these are.
Yeah, okay, I'm actually really into that, so maybe just go that route.
Can you also put like 3 or 4 episodes on each CD in really, really low quality?
It's like like make sure it's like a 100 by 200 MPEG 2 file.
Right.
My the hat person points out my Isaac right now is looking pretty fucked up.
A little bit. I hear that with the new Xbox One, you can trade Sailor Moon episodes with your friends.
What? And all you have to pay is an activation fee, a small activation fee to watch each episode.
Well, no, you can watch the episode as long as you're at your friend's house, but as soon as your heartbeat leaves the room, then they have to buy the episode.
It's really tough too with Sailor Moon because Sailor Moon really gives everybody kind of a regular heartbeat. It's hard for the Connect to keep up with that.
Well, no, it's
so
cool
exciting.
because you watch an episode and then by the end of the episode, Xbox One tells you who your favorite Sailor Scout is.
Wait, can this Xbox heart detector thing, can it detect if my heart crystal is removed by a Negaverse force?
That's a very good question.
Or is that like a thing they're going to care about E3?
I think you're missing the obvious thing, which is that the Xbox Connect is a Negaverse force. Follow the money.
Shit.
Makes sense, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a device that would. That's a device they would put in people's living rooms and.
Yeah,
they did it with like necklaces and radio shows, and that seems like a thing.
Mm-hmm. So, are you saying that Steve Ballmer is Queen Beryl secretly?
Yes, I'd watch that episode. I'd absolutely watch that episode. It'd be kind of gross. I don't think he'd fit that dress right.
It's so right. I rewatched the Digimoon stream, and it was a super good stream, and I was tickled by this one part that you pointed out that Queen Beryl's "Looking at Shit" music was playing. And I never realized that before, but they always play that. It's like Queen Beryl's theme or something, but like anytime they play it, it's always Queen Beryl looking at some shit. Like it's never just her talking to someone.
Just moving her hands around. Yeah.
She's just got like some kind of orb that she's looking at, and she's moving her hands around in some kind of like super mystical magic queen lady thing.
Exactly.
I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about.
I think we stumbled on some truth here. What if Sailor Moon is just like weird Japanese wrestling? That's what it sounds like to me at this point. People have theme music. There's crossover with game developers.
If you've seen the female lady wrestlers, if you've seen
I was a lady for a while.
They look like Sailor Moon characters. Especially if you've seen like live action Sailor Moon shows. It's like the same people.
To be honest, I have not seen live action Sailor Moon shows.
Thomas in the chat says Xbox hentai.
Well,
guys, Xbox is not.
It's not. There's a very important distinction.
No, it's fan service. Thanks.
Just
There's a difference.
Yeah, see, Janine knows what's up. She's got my back.
I know the score.
This is the grossest boss, I think.
Yeah, this is pretty gross, man. Yeah.
How is this not the end of the game when you beat your mom? Like, isn't that the whole thing that you're trying to...
Yeah, the first time that you play through the game, it is.
Oh.
But then subsequent times you unlock harder levels. I'm not actually even that far, because after this you unlock the ability to go into the womb, which is the next level.
Cool.
And then you fight... You fight Mom's heart at the end of that.
That's in her womb.
Yeah, that's not how that works.
Well, don't...
Team Meat doesn't know much about...
Fuck. Don't think about it too much.
Okay.
But you, after you beat that like 10 times, then you open up the ability to go even deeper.